Here we are, back again for another YGG Global Hangout. I'm joined as always by my favorite co-host, AC. AC, what's going on
Hey,
today?
GM, YGG fam. Another day again for our global hangouts. We have a great lineup today, right?
Yeah, we've got one very big featured guest here that I'm sure the community's always already quite well versed in, but we're going to go even deeper today. Are joined here by Robert and Peggy from Cairo. Robert and Peggy, how are you?
Hey, good morning, everyone. Well, at least from our part of the world.
Yeah,
Hi.
it's morning for us in the eastern side, and then evening over there in the Philippines, right, AC?
Yeah, already 10 p.m. on this side.
Yeah. So for our community members that don't quite know you guys, maybe you want to just give a quick intro on what you do for Kydro and just a very brief rundown on what Kydro is.
Yeah, great. So I'm Robert Simons.
And I'm Peggy Chung.
We're the co-creators, co-owners, and interns, I guess co-interns here at Kydro. Um, so what do we do every day? We touch all aspects of Kydro. Initially, we set the art style you see for Kydro today. Peggy and I were the ones that also laid out the gameplay style for Kydro that our amazing game designer and CTO has taken on and shaped into what it is today. A little bit about our background, though, and where we come from. Peggy and I have been in the entertainment industry for roughly 15 years, working on blockbuster films from things like Transformers to Pacific Rim to Alita Battle Angel, Jurassic World, and many more, to AAA games like Call of Duty, Apex Legends, more Call of Duty, and a lot of Call of Duty over the years. So, yeah.
We did some for Borderlands too.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. I forgot we did Borderlands also.
Yeah, Borderlands seems like it's a little bit up your alley because the art style seems a little not one to one similar, but I could see the inspiration there.
Yeah, I think there's definitely like similarities in terms of like hitting that sort of like comic book feel, and hitting that style. Kydro is sort of like uniquely our own thing, our own style in that way. But we've always been of this place of being able to adapt with whatever projects we're kind of working on.
Yeah, I mean, for those who aren't familiar with Kaiju, it started as a comic. So the very first version that's ever seen in the world was always webtoons or like the short form comic that we put out. And so every week it was an update where people were able to read the comic. We were on book one a couple of years ago, and now we're on book four, and that's about to wrap up soon enough. And so that's kind of the way for everybody to get involved with the world. And it's free, you know, you can read on your phone or people read on the computer. You see the full format on our website as well at hydro.com. So there's just many ways to digest it. So that's kind of a good segue for people to get started in the world. When it comes to the Hydro game, what you guys will be seeing is the expansion of the world. So it's not like you're playing Ava, like the main character. You're playing these other characters that are in the world parallel at the same time. So that's how we kind of connect everything together.
Yeah, you guys have a lot of lore and building going on. I was really surprised by how in depth the comic is. Don't want to throw shade on some other Web3 products, but the lore and kind of what they have there isn't as in depth. I read through all the comics, and I was pleasantly surprised that I wasn't trying just to get to the end to get into the whitelist. I was like, oh, I actually really want to dive in and figure out what's going on in this world because of how well you guys did it. And now I can definitely see that the comic came first. It wasn't an afterthought just to do something. It was the comics what built this world, and then the game and everything else is what's coming after. So kudos there.
I appreciate it.
and
Thanks for
and it's a very great art.
yeah.
Oh,
Thank
you,
you.
AC.
Yeah. So before we
Oh,
dive a little bit more
mm,
deeper into that, AC, I think
yeah,
you're gonna
before
kind
we
of
go on. Yeah. So we have by the way, we have a giveaway that Peggy and Robert provided. So I've already sent it to our Discord chat. So make sure to fill up those form and make sure to follow the guys up. It's already in the form. So follow Peggy and Robert, and then the Kaido Chronicles, and make sure to join the Discord. Discord channels. Yeah,
Yep, I'm
and make
gonna.
most of our
There we
stream
go.
today.
Yep.
Yeah.
Form is on there. Again, thank you so much to the Kydro team for giving us some giveaways here. I know one of our moderators, Jude, was saying, "Oh my God, you guys have whitelist spots. Those are super hard to come by." So people
I
are
agree. I agree.
extremely excited for that.
There's
And just
only limited pilots that will be minted, right?
Yeah, it'll be a very small collection compared to everything else we've done. It's what we've been building up towards all year, and we're really excited to bring the pilots to everyone.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
to do a recap of that, like earlier this year, our first collection was the journals, and that was free, and we were able to capture a lot of people through that, some 350,000 NFTs there. And then it went to the Spark suits, which you'll see running around in the game. Those are about 10,000 of those, and then we have the Spirit Guardians, which there's 15,000 of them, and this collection is going to be the pilots, which we didn't announce the amount yet, but is the lowest amount for all those collections.
Yeah, you guys have been crushing it. I know being on the Ronin chain there, you guys have been sold out pretty much every time, which is, for a while there was a hard feat to get by when we were kind of in the slump of the market, but you guys seem to have no problem. I know Gabby was pushing us to be our certain group there. I think it was the Bubblegum Warriors or whatnot.
Emerald.
Yes.
Emerald
We
hands.
know who
Yeah,
you
the
like.
emerald hands.
Yeah, these guys here, yeah. But yeah, on that note, I'm just going to do some quick updates here for Gap Season 7, and then we'll dive really into some gameplay and then some more in-depth stuff, what's coming for Kydro, because I'm sure a lot of people are excited. You guys are just about to wrap up, I believe, your third or second alpha so far?
Yes, this is the fourth. We already wrapped
one.
it up, but
Yeah.
we got a lot of great data from the community, and it's helping us considerably with always just adjusting and reshaping things of the game.
Yeah, our team was able to get feedback real time, and things that were kind of game breaking or things that really were an issue, like people falling through areas or getting stuck in one spot. Our team was able to fix it within 24 hours. So it was a really good back and forth. It was 2 weeks long, the longest we've ever had. So we were able to get a lot of feedback.
Excellent. Yeah, so let me just plug these Gap Season 7 updates real quick. So obviously it's our last week here. Well, less than a week for Gap Season 7 to close out. We're closing out on November 3rd, so it is not November 1st. It's November 3rd, 12 a.m. UTC, or I should say 11:59 p.m. UTC, which is 7:59 a.m. SGT for everyone in the Philippines. Again, if you guys haven't staked yet, this is your last chance to get that reward multiplier. Your reward multiplier does refresh every 24 hours. So if you try and stake right at the last 24 hours, you're probably not going to get your multiplier updated properly. So don't forget to do that. And again, don't forget to claim your rewards. It's in real time. You don't have to wait till the end of the season. Once your quests have been accepted, you can go claim and get your rewards right away. So that ends off all my quick updates there. Let's dive right into some gameplay and the nitty-gritty of Kydro, which is really the whole point of this stream.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Let's see. So I think a good place for us to start out on is going to be the very first screen share I did with you.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and let it start playing. But so for anyone who's new to this, and I know there's a lot of people here within the YGG community that knows Kydro, but for us, Kydro Clan Battles is a 3v3v3 sort of combat arena style game with ARPG elements. So a lot of what you're going to see are going to be teams of 3 going against 3 teams, and also different AIs and bosses on a map and collecting items. So a lot of what you see people collecting right now are bounty items. Bounty items are how you collect rewards and your overall points. So those are the points that you see at the top left corner. Right now everyone's zeroed out, but the idea is you return those back to your base, and those are the same points that you're generating over on the Kydro leaderboard. So through our alpha test we were doing over the last 2 weeks, someone just jumped into the pit there. the leaderboard we were doing over the last 2 weeks, uh, basically people were collecting these points in order to earn certain items like whitelist spots, AKDR, just different ways for them to interact with the ecosystem for their play to airdrop campaign with the Hydro ecosystem. The big thing to note about Hydro is that it does live on the Steam platform, and so it itself inherently is just a game, not necessarily a crypto game. That's where the Hydro website comes into play. The Hydro website is a place for you to link your game account. That's where all the crypto elements of Hydro live. And so everything you do in game is tracked there on the Hydro website. That's kind of a quick overview of what's happening with the game for anyone who's new here, who's joining us. Oh yeah, perfect. You pull it up. Yeah, if you go over to game, that's listed up there at the top, and then you scroll down and click leaderboard. Yeah, and this is the leaderboard that everyone was just a part of over the last couple of weeks. If you click that queue, it'll show you basically the 3 clans that were battling for the top spot. And then if you click into each one of the clans at the top there, it'll show you the ranking of the players within each of the individual clans. So each one had, a couple thousand players that were playing through them, trying to collect points. They can try Grimbone or Emerald Hand, but each one has their own unique rewards that are a part of those clans. And obviously, whoever the winning clan is, they get an extra little reward, either through the way of AKDR, the token, or whitelist spots or things like that. But each clan is going to be rewarded and reward the players who did well within those clans. So that's the reward system. That's kind of the base game that we're talking about here. Our next playtest that we're building up towards is going to be the Hydro Beta. The Hydro Beta is going to feature 2 new Spirit Guardians. So that's not something we necessarily got to show you here or talk about today. But when you watch the gameplay go, you'll see that there's a dragon that runs around with you in the combat zone. That dragon is your Spirit Guardian. So like when you get into certain heavy combats, like what's happening now, you're not going to see it because we're trying to limit how much stuff you see on screen. But as soon as you leave that combat area, your dragon will show up. And the dragon is what gives you your super. So right now you see everyone summoning these giant starfalls. That's the gravity slam. But you'll see something like Starfall come out of the sky, like that one there, slam into the ground. That one there too. That's just one super ability. That's more of our DPS. We have 2 other Spirit Guardians we're going to be adding. One that's a healer, and the other one that's going to be defense. So it's really going to change up sort of like the dynamic of how the battle is done with those Spirit Guardian abilities. There's also a whole host of new Spark Suit parts and things that we're going to be adding in with new abilities tied into those as well. There's also going to be a new NPC system that's going to be added that you'll be interacting with in the beta version as well, where players will be able to earn new rewards in game and sort of follow that story season to season as the game continues to evolve and grow.
Yeah, very exciting. Obviously, it's the first time we've really seen a crypto game on Steam, and I think that's exactly because you guys have thought about that and said, you know what, we'll keep all the crypto stuff outside of the game, which allows you to kind of bypass that, because Steam's really, really stringent on crypto games. I don't think there's any right now.
There are a handful. It's very rare to see them over there, and everybody has to be sort of clever in their own way on how to do things. For us, because we come from games like Call of Duty and Apex, we really wanted this to be purely based on the game itself and how challenging it can be for the players. So the crypto element really had to live on its own on the website, and so on the website there's other ways to interact with it as well. You don't have to just play the game. There's Synergy, which is a way for people to lock up their NFTs on the website. There's the spin wheel over on the website, which if you just have a journal, that allows for you to collect collodium daily and do that as well, which I highly suggest anyone who's watching this today, because the spin wheel is a good way of just earning, either rank points or also physical items, merchandise, things like that through the spin wheel every day.
Yeah, and they can get the comics as well there.
Yeah, exactly. You get the physical ones over there.
The physical one, yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's a really good segue. I'd love to hear a little bit more about the comic, what's coming for the comic, and kind of the world building behind it. And maybe just before we jump into that, let's do an open call right now. Anybody that's watching and wants to get in, I think US East Server 1, we're going to be queuing up and looking for people to play. So we'll do that in the background, Robert. And maybe, I guess, Peggy, do you want to kind of dive in on the comic book side of things?
Yeah, we could cover it. Yeah, I mean, so when we talk about the comic, you know, the process leading up to this point, right? So you guys talked about how Steam and how we're able to kind of essentially get Web 2 players and also Web 3. That's the way we kind of saw with the comic as well. It's like we had some 50, 60,000 people on the Webtoon side that were able to follow us along since the beginning. So we even have people nowadays that are playing that came all the way from that period of time from the comics came out some 4 years ago. Yeah. So what happened was our process was always to get the comic out, get people familiar with it. At the time, Webtoons was starting to become bigger and bigger. Originally, we were gonna do this whole thing where, you know, the Kickstarter thing where you're like, I'm gonna make a whole comic and then put it out. But you know, it's hard when it's a new IP. So for us, we figured, okay, you kind of have to go TikTok style with it, where you put content out each week or each day. So what we did was we promoted on TikTok. So me and Robert have over 1 million followers on TikTok. We joked that we're not singing and dancing. We were talking about art, storytelling, comics, and eventually we started talking more about Kaidro. So when the day came that the comic was put online on Webtoons for people to subscribe, there was an audience ready to go, and they went and subscribed and started reading. So that was a kind of fun way to get people involved. What we did was it came out every week, like the comic, at least on Webtoons. And then what we did was at the very end, the physical book was created. So people were able to go to Kickstarter and then pre-order there. So, you know, the process took about 9 months, where, you know, 4 months of people reading the comic and then another few months for the comic to actually be built out and then shipped to everybody.
Yeah, very, very interesting way to kind of go about your marketing and how you're doing it. Very non-traditional in a sense. And I guess, you know, using that avenue really ended up working in your favor, right? It was a nice twist from what people were used to, and then, you know, you capitalized on that quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, we're in a world now where it's great. Like, doesn't have to be a middleman in the way, right? So it's like, you know, you think about it's kind of like YouTube. You just post it. So that was a great thing about Webtoons. They have a built-in audience, and we were able to get to the top of the science fiction department of it. And I believe action and adventure too. So it's been really, really cool to do that. And it's the same is true of Steam. We were able to get to the top charts because, again, we already have a built-in audience. Everybody's coming in, and new people are wish listing. And, you know, with Steam, it makes a difference when people wish list. It pushes you to the top. So what do we have number-wise? Over 10,000 games with Steam? It was
something like that.
Yeah, so we're able to get to the top over to some 10,000 games that are already on there because, again, audience that exists and more people jumping in. So right now, you know, you're playing against people, or if you jump into these alphas, you might be playing Web 3 people, but there's a high chance you're playing Web 2 people as well. The way we saw it is that it's extra benefit. So technically, they can't really tell that you're Web 3 other than the fact that you have a unique suit. So that's kind of the thing that we really saw it as. It's kind of marketing in its own way, right? It's like, you know, when you play a game, you see somebody with a really cool skin, you're like, how did they get that? You know, so if they want to, they dig deeper, and then, you know, oh, okay, I can actually purchase this skin in, you know, in the store, so, or in the launch pad.
Yeah, 100%. You guys are letting kind of the players figure out and decide instead of saying like, hey, here's your wallet, here's the skins, come look at this. It's more, hey, how did that person get the skin? I want to know. Oh, it's not on the Steam store. I've got to go and figure out this crypto stuff.
Yeah, and, you know, we have a process. We show people how to do it. I mean, because obviously that's like the biggest thing, right? Everybody's always asking, how do you onboard Web 2 to Web 3? I think it's, you know, it has to be kind of seamless, and we're getting there. It's just getting the exposure first. So that's how we see it. Like, we start with exposure. If they want more, we can like we have a system for them to get deeper and figure and work them through it. And if they want, we've actually had people come into the Discord that are pure Web 2, and they're like, "How do I get these skins?" And our Discord has been really, really great. They've been talking people through it. They're like, "Oh, you want to open this wallet? You want to do this? You want to connect here?" So people are getting onboarded. It's great. So it takes one person at a time.
Exactly, yeah, and it's getting easier and easier. Like, coming from the very beginning of Axie, right? Like wallets
Yeah.
and stuff were a little tedious to come by. It was quite a bit of a learning curve, and we've moved quite a bit. Ronan, Sky Mavis has done a really good job of like building out the infrastructure and making it that much easier. Like you said, we're getting closer and closer every day to seamless experience. Not quite there yet, but I think it will come soon.
Yeah, I believe so too. I mean, again, like even just this social login, even though if you're like hardcore crypto, it's like no, don't do this. But the social login, it's fine just to get people in, get them started, and you can always, well, if they want to get that advanced, they can always transfer it to a different wallet. But yes, it's a good start to kind of get people involved.
Exactly, yeah. So, have we had an opportunity to try and queue up a match yet, Robert? Or
Yeah, I see JV says we have 6 on our side. AC, I think you said you were going to be playing as well, right?
Yep.
So I was just trying to get a hold of Sam real quick to see who's queuing up on their end. But we're in queue right now, just waiting for those others to jump in.
Yeah, USD. It's because for anybody who's not familiar, our alpha wrapped on the 28th, so this is like open just for everybody here.
Yeah.
it's a small community playtest in a sense. Okay,
Yeah.
on that note, guys, if you guys want to also queue up from our side, from the YGG side, remember that's US East server 1. We'll try and get an actual game going here, and we can talk real time about it.
Oh, just got one. Cool.
Everybody.
There we go.
All right, I'm gonna close this video,
Swap screen.
and then if you can swap screen.
If anybody's familiar, so this is Steam game. Mobile is planned as well. Again, this is alpha state, so we really have to focus on getting the PC version tight. If anybody has like the ROG Ally, you actually can use that to play as well. So
Yeah.
the system works for great. Also, I think people have played with the Steam Deck as well. We have it built out so you can use a controller or you can use a keyboard.
Yeah, that's something I noticed right off the gate, because again, I come from like a big Call of Duty background before I dove into PC, so like controller is my preferred over mouse and keyboard all day. So that was
Same.
extremely good for me. I was like, yes, and it plays really well with the controller too. I don't have to map my key bindings or anything like that.
Yeah, you can sit back. Yeah,
Exactly.
It's the same for us as well, 'cause we used to play on Xbox.
Yeah,
So-
I know. I used to always just play on.
I know.
Old
I know it's like
Xbox.
blasphemy. I know people. Our team was like, "You guys are playing like a
Yeah.
controller." I'm like, we're the testers of the other batch of people.
Okay, so for anyone who's watching my stream, it looks like it's kind of glitchy here.
It's kind of choppy. I'm gonna swap over to AC there for whatever reason he's
Okay,
got.
yeah.
It might just be because your computer's trying to do too much, Robert.
Yeah.
It's like, please.
I'm wondering. It's also because I'm not
Oh,
set
no.
up on OBS. Usually that helps when I do that too.
So I'm with Rose.
So what you'll see on screen right now, we have the boss. Usually there's like some 30 seconds before the boss even shows up, so people can go against each other for a short bit. As you hit the boss, you'll see that there's these little fire emblems that pop out, and that's really the bounty. What you want to do is once you have like a good amount, you just go back to your base and you drop it off. Let me see. So what our team updated during this time, I actually haven't played this version because we've been gone for the week, but you'll see the Phoenix. So it's a vehicle that is like a hovering vehicle that will head over, and then you drop off your bounty to it. When we started the alpha some 2 weeks ago, it didn't exist. We didn't have that there, so it was added in. One of the things was because one of the feedback we kept getting was like, oh, if you have all the bounty, you're running back. People don't have a chance to like, really, kill you like a pinata, like pop you and take your bounty. So the Phoenix gave us an ability to like slow people down, so they have a chance to chase you down and take your bounty. Because it takes a few seconds for the Phoenix to actually come out. you. So
Yeah, we were actively changing things as we were learning them. I also just switched over to virtual camera, so you might see another camera of me, but this time with my game footage. That might work better. Switch over to it.
let me see. If you notice, you'll see like little heads floating around. Those are coming from other players. So the amount of points of the heads are, I think they're higher than any other of the points. I believe they're like 200 points.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you're head hunting. So that's why you see people will come after you. If you're going after the boss, and you're like, why is somebody coming after me? They want your head. So,
Ah! Oh man.
but yeah, oh jeez, I just jumped off. Yeah, I mean, what else was changed? We have it where once the boss is killed here, it basically we call it the forbidden jacuzzi, but the liquid will rise, and you have to go to the edges. In the edges, we have 3 stations, and they have like we call it like a fracture. So once you destroy one of those fractures, you actually get a bonus. If you ever look at your character, there's like little like red kind of fiery dots around the character or the weapon. It's to show that your damage is a little higher. That's the benefit of going after the fracture and being the team that gets it. It does make a difference when you shoot people, shoot other players. So like if I had a sniper rifle and I had it's like 75 damage. If I have the bonus, it'll be about 150 damage. So it makes a difference.
Yeah, so you guys have a lot of these kind of higher tier mechanics for people that really want to dive into it and get more skilled at the game itself.
Yeah, I mean, we tested like upping the bounty because it wasn't much bounty actually when we killed the fracture, so people weren't motivated to go for it. They just waited for the jacuzzi to kind of go away and waited for somebody to destroy one of those fractures. We upped the amount of points, but the feedback, people didn't want it to happen during the playtest because obviously they're fighting for the leaderboard. So
yep.
We ended up changing it back because it was too game changing, for something that's competitive. It was like, okay, maybe we could do this, but maybe not right now. So we took it back.
And that's really, really amazing that you guys are able to tweak things so on the fly during alphas, right? A lot of games are like, okay, well, we'll wait till next round and then we'll implement this change. Like, bear with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important for us because oh man.
And we got like real time feedback. That was the most important part because it's like you wait till the next time, then it's like, oh, that didn't work, and then so. Or like, okay, fine, let's just do this like now. So.
Well, what we've been trying to get through all year is this, which is making sure that the gameplay feels like rock solid. Now that it does, the big goal is to just get all the other elements in there to flush out the game over the next like month or two.
Oh no.
And most of those things are built already. They're just not in the game because we wanted to make sure that all the base mechanics felt steady.
Yep.
I mean, what happens too with programming? It's like you change one thing, it might affect another thing. It's like a cascade. So we might fix one thing and then it causes another problem. But you don't know it until a lot of people test. And the great thing is people were playing constantly. So our team might not see the issue, but somebody else across the world playing, they find the issue. So.
Well, that's it, right? You fix one thing, it might end up breaking 2 things in the process.
Yes. Usually does.
Yeah. So on that note there, like maybe let's dive into what's coming next now. So you've wrapped up this 4th playtest, and I'm sure there's going to be another one. When can we expect that, and what maybe changes can you share at the moment that players could be excited about?
Yeah, we mentioned a few of them earlier on. So the Spirit Guardians are going to be one of the biggest ones, giving you those extra new abilities that aren't in the game right now. Wow, was that you?
Yeah,
you
I
just flew past
jumped.
me on screen. So that will be hugely important because it's going to introduce new types of classes that people will start using, and that will change the gameplay dramatically once that starts to occur. Then outside of that, there's going to be a whole lot of new skins. I'm sorry, not just skins, parts for you to use for your Spark suits. The Storyteller is going to be a big one that will be added at the time too. So we used to have it. It's not in there in this current version. That's because we've been rebuilding and redesigning it. There's also going to be the shop, which is not in there currently. The shop is going to house new skins, new parts that you're going to be able to collect. There's also going to be a crafting system that's coming where you can basically break down parts that you don't want anymore that are in your inventory, and you can use those to then go buy new parts at the shop or craft new parts. So that'll be important for people who has like certain sets of abilities that they want to keep, but they want to work on making those parts stronger. Let's see. So that's pretty much like the next version that we're seeing. There's also going to be a dungeon crawl version of the game too, where instead of it's always being 3v3v3, it's going to be a team of 3 who do a dungeon crawl together, and that one is going to be a little bit more based on your NFTs. So what that means is that your NFTs can actually reward you certain power buffs and things like that for those dungeon crawls. Oh, I just jumped off that cliff. And there's also a tutorial. We're building a tutorial right now that's getting pretty near and done. That way it'll just help onboarding people a lot easier, and we want to have that ready for our beta as well.
Yeah, I mean, we get that everybody's been jumping in without the tutorial, so it's a very steep learning curve with that happening.
Yeah, it's really exciting to hear that you guys are going to be like. I know a lot of people aren't necessarily PvP players, right? So to hear that you're coming out with this dungeon crawl, which is going to be more of a PvE, I'm assuming, with friends, is really cool to hear.
Yeah, it's inspiring. A lot of what we built with the game is inspired off of Destiny, so it'll be a lot of that sort of energy of Destiny as well, of just being able to like go through hordes and hordes and hordes of monsters. Oh shoot! Sorry, this guy's coming at me with an axe.
No problem. It's hard. It's hard to play and stream at the same time.
It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
Let me see. I mean, the other thing I don't know if you mentioned was the pilots. And be able to see them.
Yeah. So the pilot NFT collection is coming really soon. Those will be used as sort of a power up for your rank, but you'll see them within your profile. So right now you can go to profile in game once we're out of this game, and you're going to see sort of a silhouette of a free risk character that's hanging out there. And that's where your pilot is going to end up living later on. This will be a place for you to like take photos with your spark suits, your spirit guardians, and your pilots. Of course, there's things we want to do with the pilots later on where you're running around in more of an RPG element. That one's a lot further out, but what will be coming first, though, is you'll be able to see your pilot in-game and starting to see those rank points you're earning going to their level.
So you guys are really all in on the IP. Like, there's going to be pretty much something for anybody, whether it's PvP, PvE, dungeon crawling, or just even reading comics, right?
Yeah. I mean, on top of that, we also have just for the website, because we know that not everybody, again, it's not their type of game. On the website, we'll have the KGeN clan pockets.
Yes.
So that one, do we talk about the details of it? Or?
Yeah, we can. I mean, Moki Pochi's out now, number 2, so it's fine for us to talk
If you're
about.
familiar with like Moki Pochi, the team has been building the Moku team is building a multiplayer version, right? And they've shown that. So we'll have a version of that for KGeN as well. So it's like reskinned to KGeN. It'll be each of the clans. I don't think we've released all the art yet, so that one is going to be fun because competitive. But again, like you can just do it on your phone on the website. So,
which is super great. I know the Moku team has been crushing it as well. It seems like whoever's on Ronin at this point is doing pretty well. But yeah, it's super exciting. And are you guys going to be eventually working on some sort of anime based on the comic too?
Yes. So there's actually a new cinematic that's going to be coming out relatively soon. That cinematic, I'll show a little early preview of to you guys today of it. But that is a good prelude to what we are building for the anime. The anime isn't strictly just the comics. It's following sort of the whole world of KGeN. So it's about the comics, it's about Clan Battles the game, That's why people's NFTs will literally be in the animation series too. So like their spark suits, their pilots. It'll be based on either certain events that allows for their NFTs to be in the animation, or either through raffles and things like that. One of the really cool things we have coming out with the pilots is that you can actually become a producer on the animation series. What that means is that you get to be a part of the early development of the animation series, depending on what type of producer title you earn. Oh shoot, sorry, this guy's getting me. Depending on what type of producer title you earn, you'll be able to either contribute to how we're building the animation series, either through animatic meetings, concept design meetings, seeing kind of where the world is going, getting your take on it, hearing your thought process. It's almost treating it like kind of like a Kickstarter, but through you owning that NFT allows for you to have that sort of access on the animation series.
The
Yeah.
pilot is the only one that you could do that with too. So the whitelists are a big deal.
I can see that. And then like how do you get that producer role? Have you guys ironed out or released that information, or?
So we haven't fully released it, but there's basically a game that we've been building through a leaderboard system. So once you have a pilot, you'll basically want to own some KDR or a KDR, and you'll basically be doing lockups through that leaderboard with your pilots.
Oh.
And people will basically be climbing that leaderboard for that specific role. And after a month, we'll lock in all those roles on the leaderboard. The difference with this system is that your pilots basically have to stay locked up for a year after that. So once that month is done and everyone kind of secured their roles, the idea is that your pilot is locked in during the time we're developing the animation series.
So you're essentially putting skin in the game.
Yeah.
If you want to be a producer, you're locking it in. You're saying, hey, you know what, I'm in for this project for the long run. I want to be a part of it. I want to help,
Yeah.
be in the director's seat, and I'm going to show it with this NFT.
Exactly.
Super cool. Yeah, I don't know how many people I know that have done that kind of thing in the space before. It seems like a new twist. I know a lot of people have done benefits and stuff like that, but I don't think we've seen it on the scale.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, we've always been about trying to get the community as wrapped into this as possible, and having them really having not just skin in the game, but also having a voice in the things that we're doing, that we're building. You can always go talk to people in our Discord. You'll see that Peggy and I are either always in there, or if we're not in there, JV or other people are constantly giving us information. Oh my god, I just got a lot of candies. I gotta get out of here. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, like for us, the advantage, but also the challenge is involving the entire IP, right? So it's like that's why it's not just about the game. There's the website, the NFTs, the animation, the comics. Each part of it has its own way of earning or getting involved if you want to. So, yeah, that was a really important thing for us when we were building all this out.
Yeah, and that's got to make it hard, right, to make all of this stuff cohesive and work together. The more and more you add, the harder and harder it gets to make sure everything's working together as they should.
Yes, it's a lot to balance. But I mean, thankfully on a story front, we have so much built out on that side that's actually been the easier part for us, in making sure that the story stays so cohesive. And something like the clans, we started building Kydro like some 10 years ago, before the animation or before the comics really came to life, and the clans were always a part of it, even back then. So when we knew we were going to make the game, we knew exactly who we wanted to make it about, so that way we could entangle all the stories together. All right, looks like we have a game finishing
10
here.
seconds. So last 30 seconds of the game allows for you to
Hunt down.
any last points you want to grab.
Oh,
The way it worked for the alpha was that it was the amount of bounties that you got contributed to the leaderboard. So that's what everybody was really gunning after, and that's why people were getting hunted down or It wasn't about just the kills, because obviously, people like a kill record, but it actually wasn't beneficial for the kill record.
Yeah, it was. It seemed like there was a mad dash there, last 30 seconds to just get
Yeah.
people.
Just trying to take all the points that you can from everyone.
Cool.
If you want, you can show them where the profile for the. Well, actually, now you got this. So.
I was gonna show a tiny bit of stuff from here because I can't see too much, but
yeah.
Yeah, we'd love if you could flip us back over to our. There we go. So this is the new cinematic that we're going to be releasing next month, I believe. And this highlights the clans, but this is sort of an eye into the animation series itself. So we're seeing Emerald Hand here defend himself. Grimbone defend himself as Bubblegum Violence jumps in to start fighting him. We're seeing the pilots in action. Yeah, so I don't want to show too much because there is going to be a lot here in this 2-minute cinematic for everyone to take in. But I think it's going to be really, really exciting for people who are holding.
Scroll back a little bit to show, there's just this scene, or even the Grimbone and Bubblegum Violence, because basically, what you can see is this is what you're seeing in game. You're fighting each other. You're fighting these void creatures. So we wanted to give people what does that look like if you zoom in? What's that story that's really happening between them? Because when we play our game, you're third person up here looking down with a camera. So we wanted to dive in and show people kind of get your imagination running of what are these characters talking about to each other, these pilots.
And these are also the same abilities you see in game. This is Gravity Slam that you can use in game directly. These are the same weapons, the SMG, the shotgun.
Yeah, and the animation looks fantastic.
Yeah. Speaking of animation and cinematics, are there any plans that this gonna be in Netflix?
Yeah, it's great question. I mean, Peggy and I have been in the industry for a really long time to know that you really have to build a product first, and then you work with distributors from there in order to put your series out there. So the answer when it comes will this be on Netflix? From our side, yes, but we have to finish the series first. That's the same too with Amazon Prime or YouTube, Crunchyroll, any of those things. Is that once you finish it, it will you then just work on distribution then to those platforms.
Yeah.
Definitely a thing to look forward to for the community.
Yeah, I know we've got a bunch of anime lovers here at YGG, a whole stream of them. So this is right up their alley. Video games, animation, everything mixed into it, especially with crypto too. So it's I'm sure a lot of people here are getting excited, and that's why a bunch of them are tuning in. They're I need this whitelist. I need it. So
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's for us, it's kind of you find your people, right? So we put this out there, and it is an eclectic bunch, but also, anime has made it to the mainstream now, so it's interesting to see all the people that kind of come together. Like you said, it's into anime, games, and crypto. Here we are. So
yeah. Do you want to, just before we wrap up here, did you want to just kind of dive into these armor attachments and stuff like that?
Yeah, I would love to. Just to kind of give people a base idea of how all this runs down. I don't know why it's all flipped on the screen here, but if you can read backwards, you'll see what's going on. So right now what you see is I have a medium chassis Spark suit that's picked. This is also using one of my NFT skins. The cool thing here is that we have a menu screen that pops up on the right-hand side, left here on the display. And you can click through at the bottom here to your different chassis. So I have a light, I have a heavy, and I have my medium. So if we go to something like my heavy here, you'll see that I have a bunch of different parts that are listed out, anything from purple to gold. So right now in this version of the alpha, we only have 2 different parts types. We have, we have epic and we have legendary. But in the full game, there's going to be 5. There's going to be common, uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary for all those different types of parts. And as people continue to rank up and get higher and higher in class, they'll have those parts to build everything out with. The great thing is you can just scroll over these, and the parts that you have on hand will show up. As you win new parts, the newest part with the best abilities get assigned. That's purely just for the alpha. As we move on to the main game, you'll still want to assign the parts and look through what you get. But the cool thing here is I can just scroll through the menu at the top, and I'm going to go to Appearance, and I have a Bubblegum Violence skin here. I can equip that, and that's my Bubblegum Violence NFT skin. So this is reading off of our website through the website being connected to the game. Again, I just go to Appearance, and then in Appearance, I go to my NFT skin and select it, and there it goes. It pops back on. So this is a really easy, quick way to align those things and set them up, and sort of get your abilities chosen. Oh, I think that's another part I forgot to choose here is that there's these 2 other buttons here at the bottom. These are your actual abilities. So what's happening here is that there's 2 sets of abilities. There's Spirit Guardian abilities and there's Spark Suit abilities. Spark Suit abilities are going to be all of your like natural-based weapons in the real world, which are going to be like missiles, stun abilities, caustics, things like that will slow your enemies down or do large impact damage, or shields that you can produce. These abilities you only get through the parts that you earn. So like all these different parts you see that I'm wearing right now, each one has abilities that they're carrying on them. Let me see if I can go to one real quick. But if you look through these abilities, I'm going to show details. Here we go. So right now these ones just have armor stats on them. There's one I thought I saw for a second, but basically you'll see the different abilities.
Might have been updated, huh?
Yeah, I don't think it updated for this one. But you'll basically see the different abilities that you have per part, and that's the abilities that you're going to have on hand here that you can choose from. And so as you progress and level up through the game and collect new parts and abilities, new abilities are going to show up through those parts that you're collecting.
Yeah, extremely cool. And then, like you said, there'll be a whole crafting and getting rid of parts that you don't need in the near future, right?
Yeah. That's going to be this dead button down here at the bottom corner, left on your guys' screen, right on mine. But that'll be this little spinning gear mechanism that you can interact with, and when you click it, you'll be able to choose parts you want to be able to sort of trash, basically, and either collect collodium from or do crafting with. We'll also have crates that'll be up here in the top right as well in the next beta version. People were familiar with this on one of our last builds, that when you did open a crate, it would take you over to another window and open it. We're still going to have that system in here, so it'll be very rewarding as you collect new pieces and parts.
So there's definitely a lot of ways if somebody doesn't own the NFTs or anything like that, like they'll still be able to play the game.
Yeah,
normally, like nothing.
I wonder if I can share that with you real quick. Actually, one second.
Yeah, I mean, again, we kept it where you can do, as a Web2 player, you can play and still buy battle passes and get specific items, but their items are they're different from ours. So from what the Web3 ones are. But that's the benefit of the skins for the NFTs. The very specific thing that we did was not to have stat advantage for having like NFTs. So they are technically, stat-wise, they should be this, zeroed out or the same, but visually they're different.
Yeah, all cosmetic, no gameplay edge advantage.
Yeah.
If you do my screen share, so just showing you a little bit of like what's coming next. So our team is working on a ton of new parts and abilities for all these things, and yeah, here they are. So this is an example of skins that are making their way into the game right now. And not all these are skins, like I said, like some are, but others are found parts. And found parts have different sort of stats that are found to them. Think of a game like Diablo or something like that that you're pulling from, and then those have their unique abilities attached to them, which you can then um, trash later on, use for something else. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's hundreds. There's lots and lots of different parts and pieces that are coming. And these will all be mix and matchable. The NFTs are really where like you get to get a unique look. These are all going to be individual singular parts that you're collecting.
I mean, that's what we really liked in something. We played so many RPGs. It's like I always disliked when you got stuck with stats with a specific look of a armor piece, and you're just like, oh, this thing is so ugly. It looks so weird. So that's why it's cool that you can grab these pieces, put them on. You have the stats, but you can override it with your NFT and have like the visual look you want. So
Yep.
that was really important for us.
Yeah, it seems like you guys have kind of thought about everything here at this point. Definitely touching on your experience playing games, which is extremely important as well, right? Like that's a lot of people don't necessarily realize how important it is to have these products tailored and designed a little bit by gamers itself, right? If it's just somebody making it for the sake of making it and they don't understand, hey, yeah, this might have the best stats, but I also want to look cool at the same time, then
Yeah.
it's kind of a moot point, not the best trade-off, right? You want to look cool and also have the best stats if you're playing.
Yeah. I mean that was like the biggest thing. If I used to play World of Warcraft, you'd run around and you're like, what is this? Like they have the craziest armor, and then you realize you can't get that because it's like a couple of seasons back. So to me, that's like its own way of advertising, and it keeps you on top of it. To like, what's the event? What do we do to get this armor for this next? So yeah, that's always been really fascinating for me because it's like if I like this, other people like this. You can see it in game; it's real. So
Yep,
that's
exactly.
where I'm from.
Well, on that note, I think we've pulled enough leaks out of you guys for one stream. We'll definitely have to dive in again for something else. I think we'll probably end up seeing you guys for one of the next Gap seasons.
Yes.
I think we're prepped there. I'm not sure if it's season 8 or season after that. I'll have to dive in and talk to Sam, but it's coming. We're definitely gonna have Kydro in a Gap season. We'll be pushing a lot of stuff. Obviously, we'll be lining that up with one of your future play tests here. But yeah, any closing thoughts or remarks from you guys before we wrap up here with our giveaways?
I mean, just thank everybody who's been involved. If you haven't, gone to the world of Kydro, like where to begin is really you go to kydro.com, and then the comic. There should be a link to the comic. You can check out the NFT collections. Our Discord's a great place to be. The people are very kind, and what we like is the general chat's great. But once you have an NFT of either the Spark Suit or the Spirit Guardian, there's a specific channel for all those people, and that one's become like a little family group now. So that's been really fun to chat with everybody there. Outside of that, yeah, I think that's a big
it.
one.
Yeah, I don't have much there.
Pilots are coming up. There's different ways to get whitelists outside of this giveaway here. So it's coming soon. So if you want to get after those whitelists, there's many different avenues. So.
Yeah, I think the best thing to say is like dive into your Discord if you want really more info. Discord seemed to be the hot place for anything community related at this point. It's not Facebook, it's not Twitter, it's Discord. So yeah, definitely follow them. Go to their website. You have all your socials linked on your website there. It's a great place to dive in. You can mint that free journal, kind of get situated there, figure it out, maybe somehow figure out a way to get a whitelist into these pilots. But on that note, thank you so much for taking the time out and joining and giving us all those big leaks. I think some of your community might be diving into this stream to see some of those teasers themselves. But yeah, AC, why don't we dive into these giveaways? I know I could see our chat right now and they're going like, wish me luck. And
they're going crazy around there. I've been monitoring and chatting with them, and they're excited for the for the giveaways. And so we have almost 100 plus submissions, live submissions.
Yeah, I'm a little sad I don't get to throw my name into that whitelist myself, but it wouldn't be fair for the community to.
let's add our
Is it
name.
some alt account
Let's
that
add
you
our
have?
name for the secret.
Exactly.
I can
So
only add.
yeah, AC. Let's throw. Are we gonna do
Oh,
wheel
wait.
of names for that or?
Yeah, I think we can do the wheel of names. Since it's 555. So yeah, it will be a bit faster.
Yeah, we are at the top of the hour, so we're gonna shoot through these fairly quick. Here we go.
Mhm.
We've got the wheel of names there.
Oh wow.
All right.
Real
Yeah.
time.
Wow.
So yeah, we're gonna do it in
Oh,
real
that's
time as well. Okay. So yeah, without further ado, we're gonna go draw five. Sorry. Uh, first five random Astral X.
Yeah, let's
So
save
all
the
right,
pilots right for the end.
for the end. Yeah, definitely.
By the way,
All
I
right.
like your
Uh,
advertisement on the left for McDonald's because we don't have that kind of McDonald's.
What
Like
is
it's
that?
the rice,
oh,
fried
Oh.
this
chicken,
one. Yeah,
gravy.
this one is good with the gravy. Yeah.
Hey.
Wow.
There we
Congrats.
go.
Congratulations.
So that is the first one, and let's go. Let's remove her and add another one.
I just can't stop staring at that food.
Right, it's a
That's
bit
a lot of rice.
slow.
Philip- Philippine
Agree too,
specific.
I love it. It's like double rice.
Yeah,
Van
Wow.
Flame.
All right, Van Flame.
Oh,
Next.
this is such a small pool. You guys are lucky. Damn.
Yeah, it's odd. We had like well over 700 people in here, and I guess only 100 or so people threw their names in. That's lucky for the people who threw their names in, I guess.
Wow.
The statistics there.
Oh my
5
God.
out of 100. Yeah. 5% chance. Not bad.
Not bad, yeah, and the chance gets better and better because everyone that wins, their name gets pulled out of the pool.
I see a comment, by the way, from someone here in the chat saying that the next leaderboard could be shorter. Spending 2
Yeah.
weeks sleeping 3 hours a day was difficult. LOL.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I mean, like, again, if we had tournaments and all stuff, it won't be this long. it'll be
We'll
hours,
create
not-
bursts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you'll have to get used to 3-month campaigns, but there will be activations within them, though. So,
Yeah.
seasons. Remember, actual seasons are coming. So,
I mean, I admit I did not foresee people not sleeping. Too,
yeah.
so,
I didn't either.
but we couldn't stop it once it started. Like, okay, well, committed, guys.
That's it. And I'm hoping
Right.
you guys are you guys going to be touching eventually on like some esports style stuff? Like it looks like the PvP version is well set up for like some sort of esports tournament style.
Definitely.
game
I
thing.
mean, you know, YGG is one of the first ones we want to work with there, but that is definitely one of the big goals that we're talking about is leaning in on the esports side with the
Mhm.
PvP.
Currently, right now, you can't pick your own team, obviously, so that's not available. But it will be.
That will be. Oh, I forgot to mention that will be available in the beta. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right,
Team.
so we have our last player who will get the one of the 5 astral eggs. So we are moving to the next one. So for the next one is the Spirit Guardians.
Yes, I have a few Spirit
So this
Guardians
one is-
myself.
Oh, how many do you have?
I think 4 now. Yeah, 4 in total.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice. So I think you're keep on spinning on the spin-off wheel.
Peggy, are you guys going to be at YPS this year by chance?
No, I don't think we're gonna we're gonna be there this time around.
Okay, next year then. Next year
Yes.
we'll
Yeah.
definitely need to
Yes.
see Kydro, and hopefully maybe then you guys will be set up for like an esports tournament.
Yeah.
We'll
It,
do
it
a
will
live
definitely
esports.
be active then. Yeah.
Like on the cusp. Wait, is this beyond 5 at this point?
We're doing our next 5 here.
Okay.
yeah, this is
yeah.
the next 5. Yeah.
I was nervous. I was like, oh no.
All right.
You guys gave us 15 in total. I think 5, and 5 different items to give out.
Right. Okay. Got
Yeah.
it.
All right. Congrats on loading store. Well, YG for the third
Wiki,
one. So
yeah.
last 2 for the random Spirit Guardians.
And it's interesting because I'm seeing a lot of new names here. For us, usually we see a few prominent community members, but it looks like their luck has run out. They've used it all up in
Yeah.
previous raffles.
I agree. So mostly new names. I'm seeing new names,
That's
definitely.
great. Yeah, I mean, we saw a huge influx of new people coming into our channels. Even like the more exclusive Spark Suit and the Spear Garden channels, just people just want to get caught up on everything, which is really cool to see.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's going to keep
Yeah.
happening. Like the market is definitely heating up, and there's a lot of top tier products getting some mainstream adoption.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah,
Getting
there
back.
is.
All right, that's the last
Good.
one. So Jane Kill. So we are in the last giveaway for the 5 pilot whitelist spot. Are you ready, guys? Are you ready? Type less or anything there in this Discord. Make sure you're ready. One more, please. That is close. That is close, Mr. Greg. All right. Maybe you will win this time. Maybe. But sure. All right. So they are ready. So let's run the wheel again for 5 winners of the whitest spot. Oop. All right.
Here we go.
Are we gonna see a familiar name?
We are
Oh,
DJ
yeah, we
Nami.
are. For the first one, DJ
Wow.
Nami. All right. Let's see.
Prominent YGG member there.
Yeah. Now they're getting their luck. All right. Riri for the second one. And all right. Let's remove. For the third one. So it's Kinguri. Kinguri-san. Alright. We are close. So we are in our uh fourth one. So the ads is making it slower.
Darn
Oh
McDonald's.
yeah. McDonald's is getting their money in the ads.
Apparently.
Apparently.
Yeah. That is fried chicken, right?
Alright.
I want that gravy looking one. It looks so good. I'm so hungry.
Alright, congrats Hiro.
Last one.
For the last one. Yep. It's a bit slow. Good luck, everyone.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Mm.
Hopefully you
Oink.
will got it.
Oinky literally posted his PC in Discord saying it just died after he got in for the raffle.
Oh no.
Wow.
Congrats, Morty.
There we
All
go.
right, there we go. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much, Peggy and Robert, for all these NFTs here, and the whitelists. Like, it's a big deal, obviously, with how hard these whitelists are going to be to get. Much appreciated, especially for taking the time and giving us some leaks here. I'm sure it won't be the last time we have you on stream.
Awesome.
Thank
I
you so
appreciate
much.
it. And really thank you guys for having us today. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, next time we'll definitely have to get more. Maybe
The new
live.
features and the animes.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. But yeah, on that note, again, we'll wrap it up there. Thank you everybody for tuning in, and we will see you on the next Global Hangout. Do note that we have the Pixels Energy Party tomorrow too, which is going to be another big one. And then
Nice.
Gap season 7 is wrapping up November 3rd, and then we will be launching season 8 not too soon after, and then it's into YPS. So extremely busy here at the end of the season, at the end of the year. But
Oh,
yeah,
speaking of Pixel party, you can wear your Kydro suits
yes, yeah.
in the party.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. Awesome.
Awesome.
Cool, guys. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you
us.
so much. Yeah, thank you for hopping on. And we will see you in the metaverse. Cheers.
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 Bye,
Enjoy
everyone.
your
Bye.
day.
Bye.